Hi there, welcome back, all you beautiful, lovely people. Hope y'all have an amazing night or evening, day, whenever you're watching this. But yeah, it's just gonna be the intro to the podcast I'm currently working on. It was a meeting I had with the GSA at my school. That alone was about 16 minutes. And in that meeting, we went over some simple misconceptions about the LGBTQ community, my personal beliefs on why they exist, their personal beliefs and their personal experiences with the LGBTQ community, and when they realized they were a part of that community, and not only that, but how being a part of that community has affected their life and made them feel better about themselves and more comfortable with themselves. It was a pretty good podcast. It was very lighthearted, and we got some good laughs and giggles out of there. But yeah, unfortunately, we had to cut it a little bit short. The teacher had to leave. But after that, I did actually make some friends and get a video editor. If he's watching this, hi there, Nick. Just going back and finishing all the finishing touches on the video that he very gracefully edited for me. But yeah, no, we had we went somewhere else, and this is first disclaimer that the second part of this podcast, it has nothing to do with the GSA. It's not associated with them at all, and the topics that we did go over were a bit harder, so there should be no reformation for anybody within that club or any supervisors of that club, because it has nothing to do with them. It's something that I did on my own with with the people away from that club. But yeah, as first disclaimer for that, we went over some harder topics such as their coming out stories, how their parents handled that, how that personally affected them, and what I personally believe is the bigger evil in the world, which I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think it's porn. I think that they went over their personal experience. I'm not sure if I went over mine. If y'all want to hear about mine, I can do a whole video about that, or y'all can ask me about that on a different time. But it was really about how that has been detrimental to their mind, how it's affected, their mental health and their mental sanity. But yeah, hopefully y'all can get something educational and learn out of this. Hope y'all enjoy. All right, hi there, welcome back, all you beautiful, lovely people. Hope y'all are having an amazing day. Currently having the GSA meeting here. Came in today to have an interesting podcast with them. I was just going to get a bit of their opinion on some of my thoughts, some of their thoughts, and just on the whole topic, because there are some big misconceptions about the whole, LGBTQ community and all that, and I think it's important to just get their voice heard, right? If I have a good amount of people here, but I'm going to go ahead and give the phone up to the top three members so they can go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Max. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the vice president of GSA.
You better not.
Yeah. And here's our...
Hi, my name is Beth or Kaden, whichever one is fine. I go by they, them pronouns, and I am the president of this little club that we have here.
I am Zoa/Zinni, and I use they, them pronouns, and I am the secretary of GSA.
All right. So I did have some quick icebreaker questions, but we don't have much time, so I think we're just gonna get right into it. At least we can start off. Everybody, we can only start off with everybody naming one song that they love or one artist. Very simple. I can say my favorite artist is Mac Miller. Favorite song by his is, I want to say Love Affair by his Larry Lovestein album. Very good album. Would you like to go?
Yeah. I think so far TV Girl has been one of my top artists right now. Yeah. What's her new album?
My favorite artist is Motionless in White. One of my favorite songs right now is probably Cyber Hex from their newest album, but yeah.
I don't really have a favorite artist. I bounce back too much with genres, but I am currently obsessing on Video Killed the Radio Star by the Bugles.
So now that everybody's a little bit more comfortable, I guess we can get right back into it. I'll actually get into something that I like things a bit controversial, but we were talking about a couple days ago, and it's the whole it's the difference between bisexuals and pansexuals. And what I like to say is that honestly, what I think that anybody, whenever they look at a relationship, they're looking for just love. They're looking for that comfort of being in love with someone or just feeling connected to someone. So I like to think that that bisexuality is really just the idea of wanting to be in a relationship with anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter, what their gender is. It's kind of looking at them and just envisioning, a future with them. That's why you have that innate attraction to them. It's just the idea that, they are somebody you can love. And I found that very similar to pansexuality, which is the idea that you can love somebody by their, personality instead of focusing on their gender. But I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on that.
So over like the years, like everybody's talking about this. They're like, oh, bisexual is just the masculine and feminine attraction when you're looking for love, or pansexual is the attraction to literally anybody. I have a couple pan friends and I have a couple bi friends, and I think it really just depends on which they identify with more. But I've had some people describe pan as the lack of preference in every single situation.
I've identified as both pan and bi, so can I just...
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so personal thing, pansexual is when you're just attracted to personality, and bisexual is when you're attracted to all genders, but you have a preference when it comes to, like, I guess, genitalia and stuff. And the whole concept of, like, the whole LGBT thing is just labels. If you look at all of our history and stuff, we're just trying to put a label on it. We're just trying to feel secure in what we are. And it's like, hey, I'm having this issue. I don't really know what it is, but, like, you know what the issue is. So why do you need to know what it is? You know what the issue is. But, like, having that label is just, it feels, it's comforting. You have any takes? No?
Anybody else have any opinions on that? On the difference between bisexuals and pansexuals?
I think I covered it.
Yeah. I like to think that all anybody's looking for in this world is really love and comfort, and I think that's why whenever you get to the LGBTQ community, you should have no hatred or offense towards them. They're just looking for love like anybody else. And, we have no reason to judge them for looking for it somewhere else.
We're just trying to put a label on it.
Have comfort within yourself. That's the whole point of labels, is so that you aren't struggling with yourself and your whole identity. Because I did struggle with my whole identity for about like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And it made me really sad the entire time, because I didn't know what I was. But looking up stuff and finding out stuff and just seeing it on the internet and having a whole community that's centered around supporting me about who I love and who I decide to be with is just a great thing to have, because not a lot of people have that whenever it comes to a lot of certain things. And that's really all I gotta say on that.
Walk around here.
That's okay.
People hold it. You're more than welcome.
Should I just say my name or?
Sure, if you'd like, yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm a gay man. I want to say that the idea behind the LGBTQ community and plus and all that isn't the fact that we're trying to label ourselves. I don't think that that's it. I don't think the end goal is labels. It's the sense of unity. Because no matter what, if you are literally anything, I have so many friends who on paper are completely different. I know a gay, Muslim, mostly masculine, trans-masc man. And he's a wonderful guy, but I also know a Republican, white and Catholic, also gay man. I mean, obviously the gay man connection, but that's besides the point. It's the fact that being who we are and the judgment and prejudice that we face means that all together, no matter what happens, we have each other and we have banded together. Because there's no point just because this woman loves a woman, or this man loves a man, or this person loves everyone. There is no point in hatred towards that, because at the end of the day, our shared interest is love. What we all want and what we share and our end goal, no matter what we do, is simply finding love. Thank you.
W response. Oh my goodness. I feel tears coming.
It's almost like I've done my fair share of radio before.
Okay.
But as someone that has been around people that have said, things that I don't necessarily agree with, or things that I wouldn't say myself, one argument I know that they will use is that the more you add labels, the more division you create amongst the people. So it's like if you're a heterosexual male or if you're straight and you're looking at the LGBTQ community and you just look at all the labels they have, it can be confusing, it can be overwhelming, and it can feel like, it almost, I don't want to say pointless, but to them it feels almost pointless to go through the effort of learning all these different things. And this is, I'll get to it. I like to think that labels shouldn't be labels. I like to think that labels fluctuate, people change over time. So I don't think anybody should put a label on anything. I think that love is love, and at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's why I say judgment free. But I think that the more labels or the more division you put on it, the more complicated you make something. So the harder it is going to be for others to understand.
Oh my goodness. Okay, to any people who are like listening to this and don't know what they're looking at when they look at all those labels, don't worry, I don't know all of them either, and this is coming from the president. Okay, my friends are like, oh yeah, I'm blah blah blah. Huh? What's that? And they explain it to me. It's like, oh, okay, now I know that. Sometimes I forget it. It's fine.
I know like 5 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
We all can only say like 2.
Okay, so I think I've had a good 7 or 8 different labels since like 7th grade. Like I'm a junior in high school. I'm, president in gay club, like
No, bye.
stop, I'm trying. Okay, I'm nervous. VP, thank you.
Okay, I worked hard for this position. I had to. I'm not
Okay,
gonna do that. That's
and
for
like,
another podcast.
okay, like labels, I really don't like the term label because it does, like, it creates division, it creates complexity, confusion, all of this. But I kind of determine it as like a category or like a characteristic. Like you don't sit here and say like, hey, I'm gay, nice to meet you. You say your name and you say like something you're interested in. And if you want to, then you share that other part of you, that other characteristic of yourself. It doesn't have to be a label because it doesn't have to be your whole personality, your whole identity. It's just another part of yourself.
I think of the labels in the LGBT community kind of like labels as like, oh yeah, that thing you sit on is called a chair. Like, I don't think labels like, oh, like I'm this label and this label and this label. Like, oh yeah, the person in front of me has like strawberry blonde hair. Whoa, oh my goodness, and pretty makeup. That's enough. You don't have to add that, or you can. I'm complimenting.
Here, you're getting me a little nervous, man. She might just go for it. But yeah, if y'all don't mind me asking, when did y'all feel comfortable enough to come out, and have y'all always had the sense of feeling that y'all were always, in a sense, a part of the LGBTQ community or a bit different, or is it something that kind of carried on later into life?
Oh, I have
A lot of people like, all right, I guess we're just gonna pass around.
3 minutes.
Okay, I'll tell the story quickly. Okay, hi, Bo, he, she. In so the second I found out, which was in like 5th grade, what like gay meant, what the LGBTQ community was, I immediately knew I was a part of it. Like I did not have an ally phase, just because like I'll be honest, I had my first crush on a girl in kindergarten. I just didn't know you were allowed to do that, so I just like kind of breezed past it and didn't care. So like, I mean, even kids can like be part of the LGBTQ community, and that also means that kids knowing what it is does not like mean they are it. Like we're not turning kids gay. I feel like that's a big misunderstanding for homophobes,
Real quick, I'd like to address that real quick. I think a big issue with it is the fact that my personal opinion is I don't think children should question their sexuality, because I think the second they begin to question their sexuality is the second that they begin to look at other people as sexual reproductive, partners. And I think that that's the big issue at the end of the day. It's the fact that our children just shouldn't be thinking about sex in general. Like me as a kid, I had no idea, I kind of got the gist of it, but until, I watched, I don't want to say the name, but everybody knows the name online. That's whenever I found out what sex was. But up to that point, I felt like I was an innocent child. And I feel like the big problem with it isn't the fact that, because I think people can be attracted to other people at a young age, but it's never a sexual attraction. It's an attraction of, I want to kiss them, or I want to, hug them. It's never, I want to reproduce with them until, you learn what that is. But yeah, we got some more people, hands up in the crowd.
We have 1 minute.
Un minuto.
What are we going to do?
Yeah, I'll just let them finish out, say that, yeah, and then we'll be out of here.
Nick, probably least favorite homosexual back again. I should say this real quick. As much as I agree with Bo's story and how the fact that once you learn it, you're gay, it took me very long to realize that I was a gay man, and also it took so many years of not only fighting this thing, because societally, my father and my family are very much Catholic and Republican. So even though I knew what it was, I have always been told it was a sin, it was a crime, it was a sin against God's own will. And to have that, and to know that you are part of something, it hurts you. It has taken me years to get past that forever trauma that no matter what I do, if I ever turn to God, the first thought will always be, he does not love me as much as he loves any of his other children. And that is forever a crime that people have done to us gay people. Anyhow.
I like to personally say real quick, I think that's a lie. I think God loves everybody, and I think that, God will look at you and understand that you love somebody and see it, that love for love being love. But yeah, continue.
The big thing with homophobes is with like dealing with like, gay kids. I think that we're corrupting their children, but most of the time we're just like educating me like you can do that if you want. Like nobody really cares, and that's like a big thing that people are like, you gotta corrupt the kids with publicly say like that you're gay, like and you like other people like that. That's like a big thing. I think it's like an issue with people. You have anything to say?
Okay, so when I first realized that I liked girls, I was 12, but like looking back, I had been like having crushes on girls my whole life, but I also grew up in a very Catholic environment in Peru, and I went to a Catholic school, so then like I realized it, but then I didn't tell anyone because I knew that like they're not gonna like accept me. And like one time I tried like hinting it like to my friends, like I was like, so what would you do if like you found out that like one of your friends was let's say Paula, she's a lesbian, and then she got so offended by that, and I was like, it's just a saying. She was like, well, I'm not a lesbian, so like don't say that. And also like I had like a huge crush on Selena Gomez, and I'll always talk about her because she was also my favorite singer, and then they'll always be like, oh, you lesbo, why are you talking about her so much? So that's why I didn't like tell anyone for like a whole year, like never came out of like my mind. And then after a year I started like becoming close with like one of my friends, and I was like, I should tell her. So then I told her, and like when I first told people, like everyone like some people like didn't really believe it because I'm really feminine, like I've always been feminine my whole life, but others like could tell. So yeah, that was my coming out story. And then I ended up coming out like being like generally open about it in during COVID and quarantine because everyone else was doing it, so I felt comfortable enough to do it too.
Very nice. Right. I think that's all we had time for. Thank you everybody for listening today. If you are listening out there, I hope I can get another interview with these people because they seem like amazing, lovely people, and I'd love to hear some more of their opinions. But besides that, exactly, everybody has opinions and everybody deserves to be heard.
If we had enough time, I would save my first like LGBT experience. That should be like a whole episode.
I think we could just sit here for like 2 or 3 hours. No, not today, but. All right. Thank you, man. I would love that. Is Tom Brady getting home? All right, but this is Jesus Aguilera signing up.
Save it for the next.
All right, this is Jesus. All right, this is a continuation of the recording we were just having. We lost some people, but we have very important people here. We're just going to keep going with where we were at. I say let's start off with y'all's, realizing when y'all were gay and then coming out stories. If y'all are comfortable with that, of course.
So hi, I'm Nicholas. As you've heard before in the previous recording, but my coming out story is a bit more comical, thankfully, than anyone else's, I'm pretty sure. I've always known that I was completely different from every other guy that I've known. I've known super macho Catholic men, and even that's reflected now. I love lifting weights. I'm a big man, as you can clearly tell. I'm a big dude. I love lifting. I love being strong. It makes me feel great. But another thing is that I've always known I was different. So, coming out. Okay. So coming out was a very difficult experience, and me realizing I was gay is a completely different thing. But I'll just start it out right now. I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy when I was a teenager. There was a scene where Chris Pratt was shirtless in the first movie. Yes, that's my gay awakening. That is a real story, everyone. But me coming out was...
He's gonna watch this back and be like, Paul?
No, he's not gonna watch it back. I'm going to edit this. Anyhow, I'm editing this out. It's out. It's completely out.
Like you?
Yeah. No, but my coming out story is it's not as funny. It's definitely not as fun. My sister, my oldest sister, essentially forced me to come out when I really wasn't ready, and it was a very not traumatizing experience to have my sister, just force me to come out, but it was it was horrible to be me, and I wasn't ready for that because my parents weren't ready for that. The people I loved the most in this world, the people who bought me food and water and all these things that I need, I wasn't ready for them to have even the slightest chance where they thought that I was no longer their son. And it truly did take some time for me to get fully comfortable coming out. And I was forced to do it, and I don't think anyone should ever force anyone to come out. It is a horrible experience. And for me, it was not only, I would never say traumatic. I don't think many things that have happened to me are truly traumatic, because someone always has it worse. No matter what you do, even how bad it gets, someone has always had it worse. So you can't really discount your blessings simply because one bad thing happened to you. But I do think this. No matter who you are, don't force someone to come out. Most importantly, if you are scared to come out, that's completely okay, and you should wait when you're ready.
With
I
me,
forgot the question anyways. I was moved.
Thank you. Amazing. But with my coming out story, I didn't really get a chance to come out either. But my mom searched through my phone whenever I was about like 11 or 12, and I was talking to some dude on the internet and flirting with him and stuff for my school. And she went through my phone one night while I was asleep, and she woke me up in this loud yelling, and she made me go into the living room where my dad was. And it was her, and she forced me to go into there, and I had to tell them, I had to basically lie to them and tell them I was bisexual, so I could have at least a slight chance of still being able to talk to them and look them in the eye without them utterly being disgusted by me. Because all throughout my middle school life, my mother has said, I don't want a faggot son, I don't want a.
It's real. That's
Yeah.
really how they felt, and it's disgusting to hear, somebody not from the LGBT community address somebody from the LGBTQ community as that, because it's just disrespectful. It's what it is.
It really is. And it made me hurt a lot, especially whenever I was trying to figure out who I was as a person. And I just couldn't talk to my mother the same way, and she still wonders why we bicker and why she doesn't love me as much as I would like to love her.
All right. Yes, sorry.
Don't forget one.
I forgot the question. What was the question you had too?
Your coming out story.
Coming out story, and when did you realize you were gay?
Okay. Oh, now I can say it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, warning-ish, kind of,
I
I
put a
guess.
disclaimer before this or something.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. So basically, the moment I felt attraction towards another woman was in 3rd grade in a sleepover of which I was having a sleepover with one of my friends, and we were like, well, we're both girls, like, it's fine if we change in front of each other, right? Yeah, I stared at her tits for about 2 minutes. I don't really know. I have really bad memory problems, so I don't know if this was before or after that happened, of which I made my Monster High Doll scissor, but that's a whole nother thing.
We
really are gonna put a disclaimer on this shit.
Yeah.
That's something. Before I was like, you know what, that's not too bad, but the shit, that's something.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that person also stared at my boobs for around 2 minutes. Yeah, bro came out in 5th grade and was like, yeah, I'm bisexual. I'm like, what the hell is bisexual? And so when I was like in 6th grade, when I finally got a phone, I searched up what is bisexual? And then gay, and then gay test, and then gay was like, oh my gosh, that's so me. Came out the next day. I came out like a week after getting a phone. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so me.
Kids are looking at each other like, wowzers.
I came out, well, okay, I accidentally came out to my parents. In 7th grade. It wasn't anything traumatic. I have really supportive parents, actually. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I accidentally, like, okay, so the rule was I wasn't allowed to date anyone until 8th grade, okay? But at the time, I was dating someone that was a female, and they were like, and I was like, what if it's a female? And I said it under my breath, and I kind of forgot that my mom had good hearing. So that was a talking on a road. Don't worry, she didn't threaten to swerve or anything. I'm
gonna hit this tree.
Just fucking.
Oh, if I
Anyways, first she was like, because I came out as lesbian, she said, are you sure that you're lesbian or not bisexual? Because before that, I always talked about my gay friends, because, you know, that's the people I hanged out with. Sadly, I didn't know you in middle school.
Hey. But I am one now.
Anyways, so yeah, basically my mom was like, are you sure? Yeah, I came out as pansexual like a year later, and now I'm bi. I'm bisexual now. Yeah. I like pussy more than dick, my bad.
This one has.
Yeah, no, for you, we're definitely putting that.
Yeah, of course.
When I found out, I was like, what, 12? Also, whenever I had a phone, and then
Yeah,
I realized gay people are real?
What?
Being trans is a thing? Wow, I was living under a rock, weren't I?
Oh my gosh, I was so sheltered. I didn't know what religion was until like 7th grade.
Well,
Not joking.
to be fair, I was raised, and I still am, in a Catholic home. So, yeah, I knew about religion compared to some people. But yeah, whenever I found out I was trans, it kind of spoke to me in a way where I was like, huh, you know, it makes sense. I hate being a woman. It's just that feeling. You don't like it. And then at the same time, I also found out I was bisexual because I'm like, I like everything. I like everyone. I'm very indecisive still. That says enough.
Me, for real.
And I didn't came out to my parents. I came out to a friend that I trusted at my grandma's house, and then she told my grandma, and then like my grandma told my mom, so I got outed.
Yeah.
So that was like fun. And then whenever my mom found out, she's like, is it true you're trans and bisexual and stuff? Because, yeah, it was in a cartoon, so she was kind of like beating me and then yelling at me slurs and profanity, saying that I'm a disgrace and that I'm just confused and this and that. So it's totally fun. And then my dad doesn't know, but I think he's going to get the idea later on. And he's also very transphobic and homophobic. And it's just a little funny because wait till he finds out. Oh yeah, it doesn't even help either.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure
that's
he's just in
nice,
denial.
Probably.
Remember, denial is a river in Egypt. But I feel like I've made a lapse in my judgment of my coming out story. To my parents, I was forced to come out, but the first person I ever told that I was gay, and this was a real funny moment in my life, was my grandma. I call her my Nana because she's awesome. So I told my Nana, I was like, Nana, I think I'm gay. And she looked me dead in my eyes. This is a real, she looked me dead in my eyes and said, oh, honey, I know. and I said, what? And she looked at me dead in my eyes and she said, yeah, we've always just assumed you are. We just never wanted to say it. And let me say this. My grandma is a Buddhist woman. I feel like I should say this before anything. I'm a Japanese man. Before any of you get comments, my great-grandpa left Japan in 1949 to go to Vietnam to escape prejudice. So he moved to Vietnam, and that's why I'm a quarter Vietnamese and a quarter Japanese. So that's my family history. So no, my grandpa is most definitely not Nazi. So so no, they've always my grandmother's side always very open in Vietnam. You know, Asian people we don't really care. Let's be honest here. It's only when my parents, they're both really Catholic, and my mother, she is especially Catholic, like especially Catholic, and she does things And I mean, obviously, the cursing and screaming at each other, and her calling me a faggot is definitely something. But I think what hurts more is that no matter what you do, even just for who I am, she will look at me with disgust. That is something that no matter what you do will never be erased. It is a crime to do against your children. Don't ever have a kid and expect the result to be where one of them won't end up gay. It is a genuine terrible idea, and I'm going to explain it to you via simple genetics. 1 in 4 people in high school now identify as a homosexual or LGBTQ+. That means that around 1 in every 4 children are usually, gay. So, with that statistic in mind, I think her having 4 kids and her thinking one wouldn't be is quite a profound idea.
Statistic and probability.
Yeah, statistic and probability. There had to be one, and it sucks that she has to treat me this way. But my dad, he's accepting. He doesn't particularly care. It's not like he supports me outright, but he definitely doesn't really care about it. Anyhow, you hold the mic.
No.
You have more to say?
Everyone thought my brother was gonna be the gay one, but boom, me. No, my brother was a very big germaphobe and would cry a lot, and so he didn't like guy things, he liked girly things, and now he's a redneck.
That's
Is he a blonde with a mullet?
He's no, he has like brown hair, but he has a ginger beard. It's really bad. He hates me now. It's great. Anyways, everyone thought
Great.
everyone thought he was gonna be the gay one, but
So,
anyways, here.
Now, for this next story, it is gonna be my girlfriend. Have I ever heard this story?
I don't know, have you?
yeah.
I'm assuming if you don't remember, then no.
I probably have, but it's just one of those days.
Don't be that dude. Don't be a bad boy.
Hey, it's probably under the influence of something.
So, I think I first figured out that I liked girls in 8th grade. Like, up until then, I had thoughts, as everyone does. But I was raised to think, I needed a cookie cutter life, I needed a husband and a big house and multiple children, so I was like, you know what, I just really like my friends. That's it,
I totally don't find them attractive or anything.
I don't want to kiss him on the lips.
Yeah, I don't want to make out with them sloppy style. That's the one I ended out.
Lick him all over there.
I totally just don't want to like.
But see, up until 8th grade, I lived in a small town, so everybody knew everybody, so I had a one-track mind. Then we moved to a bigger city, and I immediately met some new people, made friends with these girls. Another one, which was new, she was the one who made me figure out that I was a homosexual.
The decipherer.
And she kind of did it in a very shitty way. I realized that I was attracted to her. I loved being around her. We always had a good time together. And we didn't kiss at one point. And then she proceeded to go to school the next day and tell everyone that I was a big fat gay. And I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that at all. Okay. And I denied it. I denied it so hard because I was scared for some reason. Because I didn't know all of these people. And I was like, what if they judge me? It's a scary thought because, I watch the news.
Scary world out
People
there.
get battered because of these things.
Yeah.
So, a year later, I moved again. It's Pride Month, and this guy decides to slide up on my story because I've posted, open things, everyone be comfortable.
Love each other.
If you need help, I'm a helping hand, a shoulder to cry on, And he slides up on my story and he's like, Alexis, you aren't one of them lesbians, are you? I don't want to have to preach to another friend today. I was like,
Today.
Oh.
Today.
Preach. I almost want to get into a heated debate about not debate, but more of a conversation about something.
I have been openly gay since 6th grade. I am now a senior.
Have I dealt with people that throw the little F slur at me? Yes. But how I deal with that is I laugh it off, say like, like in my brain, I say, they have no life, and I move on.
That's a good model for life in general.
Like, oi, what are you doing here, faggot? And I'm like, funny, hey, what's up?
Move on.
Damn. God, you have no life. Okay. And then I go sit down. It's great.
Thank you. I have a similar strategy, but instead it's this. I have been called a faggot a lot of times, and every single time I hear it, my best strategy is this. Laugh and immediately say, yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, to it. What more is there to it? You're right. I'm a gay man. I'm a faggot. What more do you want?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
You know what that is? That's fagalicious.
I'm gonna edit that out. I'm really gonna edit that out. The rest, you talking about titties was less graphic than that.
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna kick you out.
No.
Throwing out all the
I'm
F
the
words.
president, okay? I know.
Yes.
Okay, but is it okay if I talk about a topic that I find very harrowing and that I feel needs to be discussed?
Sure.
I don't want to be a conversation starter or light a fire, but I think that this is just a true statement. No matter who you are, LGBTQ people are being actively oppressed in the U.S. And it doesn't matter where you look.
469 anti-trans laws.
Just as you said, 469 anti-trans laws, and not to mention what they've been doing in Florida. The idea of taking someone's children away simply because you love and support them is a horrible thing to even think is happening in the US of A right now. But it is. And not to mention, the fact that people get assaulted and hurt and killed for simply who they are. I have horror stories, and I this is very personal to me, but I have been beaten up. I've been ruffled up by a couple feathers. No, but
Get back. We'll go get him right now, man.
No, I've been jumped before for being an openly gay man. And I think 8th grade is when I finally openly said to everyone I'm gay. But before that, it was kind of a hidden secret. But a few people know it, and a few people took it for advantage. A few people did it simply just to hate. And it makes no sense because no matter who you are, you should love. And I think a big factor of the idea that gay people are somehow
Incapable of love.
Yeah, incapable of love, or they pervert love, or they sicken it, or disease it somehow, is a twisted idea. And the people who do believe it, you have not seen love. You've seen fairy tales and bullshit. But you haven't seen two people look each other in the eyes and genuinely feel love. Because that is something, no matter what sex, gender, or alignment, or whoever you are, no matter who the hell you are, that is the most beautiful thing a person can witness. Love is the most beautiful thing on this planet, and the people who dare say that we pervert it, when they are the ones who actively do pervert love itself, those are the people that hurt us the most.
I personally think it's kind of ironic with how straight people try to portray us as pedophiles and stuff like that whenever they just outright show things that, like, pageants.
Oh,
for
yeah.
little girls, yeah.
Oh,
pageants of little
yeah.
girls.
A lot of stuff.
I was in one.
Not to mention Catholic priest.
Catholic.
I'm not gonna say much else.
The
on
whole
that.
thing with the church and stuff, the whole scandal with the Pope,
Yeah.
and they like to portray us as evil, as monsters that try to pervert love and try to ruin love and just completely deceive and try to ruin what America is. And they also like to say that we are oppressing straight people and that we have taken over and we have more rights inside the workplace, whenever it is exactly the complete opposite. And they decide to listen to media and sources on the internet instead of actually listening to people who are inside of the community.
I'd like to add on to that. America was built on the idea of freedom from religion. The whole reason why we came here. So please do not trample on that. That would be really great. Do not trample on that. There's no other America. There's nowhere else. So don't jump on religious freedom like that.
All right.
Any other questions?
I guess real quick, I guess I'll just share my experiences with, homosexuality. I've never been homosexual or been attracted to men in that way.
I've got to go. I'm
You're
so
good.
sorry. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have
You
a
lost
lovely
one.
day, and most importantly,
Put the chair up.
peace out, man.
This is a good The chair, the chair.
Go get the chair. I'm sorry.
But
You want to be in it?
Sure.
Oh, my mother is here. She can wait. Okay. She always waits.
it seems like we're losing people. But yeah, I'll go over it real quick.
I failed.
I have never been attracted to men, but my sister is lesbian. She came out at the age of not 18, I think 20. Oh no, she was young when she came out. Right? By the way, if she's listening, I'm sorry for sharing your business. I don't mean to put you on the spotlight, but I think it's important for people to hear this, right? But family, and I'm Mexican, and as the Spaniards did to my culture, they colonized us, and now we're all Catholics.
They really fucking did.
And they truly did. If I have one thing to say about the Spaniards is not the Spaniards of nowadays, but the Spaniards of back then. Y'all messed up my culture. But let me think. Yeah, my sister came out as lesbian, and I was young when this happened, but I remember my sister was like in her 20s. She was kind of struggling to live on her own, but she was already living on her own because my parents wouldn't accept her. They straight up kicked her out the house. We're like, no. And she had a girlfriend at this point. They were already moving in together, living together. And it's funny, her girlfriend was a little bit more masculine, so I honestly didn't think she was a girl until like the age of 5. And I remember the day I was walking by a room and she was changing, and I saw a bra, and I was like, what? But I mean, I guess it made sense, and they were happy together, so I didn't make a big deal out of it. And it's funny, throughout all of middle school, I used to love using that trump card of people would say something gay or say something offensive towards the gays, and I would always be like, damn, that's fucked up, man. My sister's gay, and they'd always be like, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I didn't mean that, and I'd be like, I'm just like, no, I don't really care, just watch it, man. But I think it's important for everybody to understand that love is love, and not only that, but I mean, if you look at my family nowadays, my sister that was kicked out at the age of 18, she is regional manager for First Convenience Bank. She's basically a massive girl boss. She's been in a relationship since I was in 5th grade, so it's been a while. Not only that, she has a house already. She's still living life, and out of all 3 of my sisters, she has her stuff figured out the most. So it's like, didn't make her any less. But 6 years? 7. Nice.
You're a senior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.
7 years. 7 years together.
I'm in 3 math classes, so I used my fingers.
We gotta use our fingers, man. But yeah, I think one big problem, as I said, is I don't think the problem is questioning your sexuality. I really think the big epidemic out here is porn. If I'm being completely honest, I think that's the biggest issue, because I think that a child never has the ability to imagine sex or to think of what sex is until they envision that, right? I think that children knew, like, if you truly are gay, you've known your whole life because you've always had that attraction to the other sex, but has never been a sexual attraction. It's been like, oh my goodness, I want to kiss them. Oh my goodness, I want to hug them. But I feel like once you watch porn at that point, your mind is kind of corrupted, and it's like, I think that's why a big part of the heterosexual community attacks the LGBT community, because they see them guess as violating the right of love or something like that. But I do want to say I have seen videos out there of public indecency, and that's the one thing I won't agree with. People with their titties out and stuff like that. I don't think children should be seeing that because they're children. I like to think that love is okay and that marriage is okay, but I'm a religious person. That's where I get a little controversial. I like to think that it's only okay when it's within 2 people, and I think that's where the respect of it comes from. It's the fact that it's 2 people that love each other, and it's 2 people that care for each other, and it's 2 people that respect each other. And I think that once you start to push away from that, or start to get, like, in the Bible, even whenever it talks about Sodom and Gomorrah, right? The city that was blown up by God for it being so
I don't know
sinful.
anything about religion,
Yeah.
man.
No, I've just been getting into it, but I think it's Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, but it's basically whenever they talk about it, I was reading what was it called? Everything that you don't know about
Wait,
the Bible.
stop looking at me when you
Kenneth
talk.
Dale.
It's like-
It's 'cause she's right behind your shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
There we go.
Okay,
See?
now I'm right here.
yeah, I remember I
Okay,
was
guys.
reading it and it was talking about how in the actual transcription it doesn't necessarily have a line attacking homosexuality. It has a line attacking the indecency of what the people they were doing. They were they were kind of the way it describes it is that an angel comes to save that town and kind of give it like, you know, premonition that hey, times are gonna come to an end, or y'all need to get out of here, y'all need to stop being so sinful. And basically what happens is all the lustful men just start looking at them and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do some stuff to you. And I feel like that's where the sin comes into it. Whenever it's disrespectful, it's not about love, it's more about lust. You know? Think of that whenever you get to the end point of it, it's all about, you know, what is love and what is lust, and I think that love is respect, and you know, between two people, lust is just wanting out there and going to just have sex, man. That's what lust is. But y'all have any opinions on that?
Mainly about the
Sorry.
mainly about the porn thing. I'm gonna continue on with that.
Yeah, I think that's a very big topic.
I discovered what porn was at the age of around, I'd say, 10 years old with having internet access.
Nice. Most of us.
And it just really shaped my whole point of view, because that's the main reason how I found out that I found girls icky. Yeah, it just made me look completely look away, and I stayed off the internet for a while after that. But it kind of corrupted my mind a little bit because it made me grow up a little bit too fast, and it made me have like sexual feelings a little bit too much as whenever I grew up, and like felt certain things at a certain age I shouldn't have been feeling. Like at age 12, I was like already like feeling horny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be feeling like that. But that's the problem with the internet and with porn, really. And then with the whole, I'm trying to remember. Get the cogs going, but the whole aspect of I can't remember.
See, okay, I had internet access at 6th grade. I was 11, I think, right? 11? Yeah, I was 11. Okay. I didn't use my fingers that time. Good job, Beth. Good job. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I had a major porn addiction, like throughout like 6th and 7th grade. Not good. Yeah, I was gonna say something about like boobs.
Okay. That's where you already lost me.
Wait. No. Okay, boobs are way too sexualized, and that's the reason why people can't have their boobs out, because boobs in general aren't. They're not that special in my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe.
We'll let her go and then I'll go.
Let
them go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Working on it.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't see anything. I mean, I seen stuff like that online too. But the only difference is I got to experience at the age of 5. So that also raised my point of view, and I was also, and probably still am, ace. So I don't experience any feelings like that.
Oh, I remember.
You remember?
You
Go.
As an unrestricted internet access iPad kid, and still an iPad kid, to be honest.
Look at me, man. Look at me.
See?
I was actually exposed to it like around like I want to say either before or around the 1st grade, which I wasn't that like aware of what it was, but it was quote unquote eye opening. So
It just wasn't healthy.
yeah, no, it's definitely ever since then it's not something healthy for me. It's something I kind of do still struggle with to this day.
Yeah, that's great, man. A lot of people do. I'm proud of you for admitting that, because a lot of people would be scared to just admit that fact right there.
There
Yeah.
it goes. So yeah, it's generally not been healthy for me in relationships at all, and I gotta agree with our host here. It's not healthy. Generally, not healthy.
Stay off porn, kids. One thing I'd say, stay off porn.
It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Not worth it.
It's
Nothing is worth the risk.
Okay, so yeah, no. Yeah, no, okay, so me was addicted until I got sexually used in 8th grade. That was not fun. Yeah, that was like in the very beginning of COVID. That's when I like kind of stopped. I was like, damn, okay. And now I have to be romantically attracted to a person for months before I can even think about like, sex, you know? Yeah, no. like other people said, porn and stuff. It's not worth it, you know. It's honestly like look. Okay, so I'm in my first happy relationship, so I'm still like, okay, looking into someone's eyes and just like knowing that person loves you for who you are and not. I forgot it. Oh wow, I'm like surrounded by like 2 couples. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, anyways, yeah, looking into someone's eyes and just like, this person loves me. That's so cool. And then you get like, it's way better than like, you know, no, it's way more better than to just like, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, everyone understands, even when there's no words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we get the gist.
You understand. If you don't, you probably never experienced love. I'm so sorry for you.
Don't worry. Everybody's going to experience love once in a life. It's just important that they remember it.
Oh wait, did you want to go?
I was holding my hand out for a reason.
Oh my bad, I didn't see you.
Sorry. All right, I was gonna get off topic real quick to over the sexualization of boobs, and I think it comes to a human anatomy thing. I think that humans, I like to believe in evolution a bit, and I like to think that humans did come from some sort of animal, so we do have primitive instincts, and I think that's where it comes from. Whenever you look at big boobs, it's a sign of a healthy reproductive partner, so you're sexually attracted to it. I think it's possible to break free from this. It just takes time to, get out of that. This is why I think children shouldn't see boobs, like, until maybe, you're 18 or until, like...
After you're done breastfeeding, yeah.
Yeah, like, once you're done breastfeeding, you don't deserve to see a woman's tits until, you're married, you're consummating your love, whatever, because at the end of the day, it's unhealthy for the mind, and not only that, but, like, the more you feed into the idea that these things are sexualized, or these things are okay to be sexualized, the more you're just naturally gonna do it. If I'm being honest, I didn't have sex until the summer going into my junior year. Yeah, I was in about a 2-year relationship-ish, and from there, I had sex for the first time, and from there, I'm not very proud of it, but within 4 months, I slept with 5 different women, just going around town, and I'm very ashamed of it. If I'm being honest, I didn't enjoy any of it. If I'm being honest, I genuinely didn't feel anything while I was in there. Best way I can put it, y'all know that song by Frank Ocean, Novocaine?
No.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
It's like he goes, I can't feel anything, It's like what my mentality was towards sex at the time, because I didn't know I knew what love was, but I had never experienced love and sex at the same time. It had always been either sex
Why
or
are you
love.
abusing her?
Yeah, we got people getting beat up off screen. We're a very tough crowd out here.
It's friendly. It's just a little kiss punch.
Called love taps. But yeah, if I'm being honest, I've been trying to break free from the cycle, but I've noticed, like, ever since I've had sex, I will naturally just, look in places that I don't want to look. And now what my natural response is, if I look at something, I'll just look away. If I do something I don't like give myself a little slap or beat myself up a little bit in my head and just, work on it.
He has this tiny voice in his head that's me.
Yeah, it's her.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, I just say no.
It's a little pitchfork in my butt. Oh. But yeah, I think that the big issue is just the fact that we've grown to allow our children to.
Oh, my mother is calling me.
Yeah,
Except-
babe, let's go.
Yes, hello.
Hey, did you get my text?
What? Oh.
I'll wrap this up real
Come on,
quick.
let's go.
Oh.
I do have
Oh.
one
Okay.
thing.
We're
So
doing
one
a
more
little
thing.
podcast. You wanna say hi?
No.
Oh.
Sadly.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Love
much
you.
longer?
A little bit longer.
5 minutos.
A little bit. 5, 10, 20, what?
Oh.
Like
5 minutos.
5,
Momento.
7, you know, around there.
Momento.
Okay, I'm on
Okay.
to it.
Okay. Bye. Love you. Mwah.
But yeah, my biggest disagreement is just the fact that we've normalized allowing our children, especially at the age of middle school, to sexualize women and to be obsessed with the idea of having sex, even though they've never had it, they've only seen it, and it's not a healthy thing.
Speaking of sex, within.
I'm sorry, that's just. I zoned out and I
So speaking of sex,
and I saw that, I was like,
Speaking of sex, especially inside of the adultery side of the LGBTQ community, whenever you get into big places where there's like clubs and stuff, sex is a big part of the LGBTQ community. Like with like orgies and stuff like that, and just one night stands and stuff like that. It became a pretty big part inside of our the whole like community. But conservatives and religious people tend to focus on that, and
it's not the whole community.
it's not the whole community. They tend to focus on that, and they just generalize that's all of what we are. Is we're a bunch of unlovable people who just like to have sex all the time. We like to party, and that's all we do. But when the truth is, there is like a majority of people who do want to settle down and have a happy relationship.
Right.
what you just said is true for all people too. Straight people do that too. So I think it's
It can't
crazy
just-
when people attack the LGBTQ plus community for these things when it's, you know, it's everybody.
Yeah. Everybody had to go. By the way, this podcast was supposed to end like an hour ago.
no, I'm not done.
Oh,
No.
we got one more saying.
Hi.
Yeah, my whole goal is to push away from the whole idea that sex is important, that sex is needed, and not only that, but even within the LGBTQ community, the whole idea of orgies, you know, one night stands and all that, it's nasty, man. It's icky. It ruins your mind. It's unhealthy for you, your soul, your body, for everything. Not only that, for the person that you're having sex with.
I don't even know what an orgy is.
I'm not gonna take the time to explain that.
Nah. Okay. Wait. I want to say something. Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, that was bad.
Okay.
Okay. I was gonna say something. I forgot.
Okay, take your time.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something cool and wonderful and amazing. Oh, stereotypical gay things. Cause the video that you sent me, that was weird. I never even heard of
I
that.
thought it was funny. Yeah, it's Derek Gerard. He's a very comedic guy. But it's just like, it's the heterosexual idea that if you do certain things, you're gay. It's just such a dumb ideology.
Yeah, and then also saying like, oh, you're gay because like you did something or whatnot, and you're using gay as an insult. That's homophobic, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. And there's a lot of internalized homophobia that comes with being in the LGBT community and growing up and not like, let's say like an LGBT person says like, oh, that's so gay, like stop. That's internalized homophobia. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but yeah, because not everyone in the community is educated about that at all. We talked about that last year. But yeah, no. This is not good. Don't do that. I think that was it. Anyways, wait. Oh yeah, don't say like don't say like, oh my gosh, but you don't look gay. Oh, that's so bad. Don't do that. Because it's called straight passing. Another person in the other room was talking about it, about how she's very femme presenting and stuff. Yeah, no, that's called straight passing. And like the thing, yeah, I used to be very straight passing. But God, you talk to me for maybe like a couple hours. Yeah, I'm gonna say some gay ass shit, bro. It's bound to happen. Okay, I'm just gonna slip in a little little gay thing right there and be like, funny boobs. Sometimes I just say, boobs.
Noise.
Just out of nowhere, just like, yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, pretty much. Don't be like, oh, well, you don't look gay, you don't act gay, because like other people are saying, like gay isn't like your whole personality. Like, I'm obviously like you can look at me and be like, oh yeah, that's a fucking faggot right there, right? Like, yeah.
Real quick,
yeah.
I'd like to address that. She can say that. We can't. As a heterosexual male, I'm not allowed to say that. She can say that because she's a part of that community. But if I were to say it, it's disrespectful. I just want to, just in case anybody. What? Sorry. Working on it.
It's okay. Don't abuse yourself, dude.
I need to get better at it. But
No. Literally, I misgender at least more than half of my friends on accident, and be like, let's say like, oh yeah, they. That's completely fine. You don't have to like keep apologizing as long as you understand you like made a mistake. And also, don't do it. Bro just did.
I'm just trying to memorize it.
Don't abuse yourself. That's bad. Don't do that. It's a no. Anyways, I think that's it.
All right, I'll go ahead and sign it off. Or one last.
I wanted to add one little thing. I wanted to say it earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you guys. Like when we were upstairs, when we were talking about labels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
People are just people. And that's
it's called
it.
human.
Yep. Everyone's just a person, a people.
That's it.
Signing off. Jesus Aguilera. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. It should be about maybe 20 minutes to an hour. I'll send it to, what was his name? Probably knows it. Nick. Yeah. I'll probably send it to Nicholas. Hopefully he'll be new editing guy. He seems like a pretty cool guy. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Peace.